You're locked in with Atlanta's hottest hip hop station. The Hype 87.3.
That's right. It is your girl, Tampa Mystic, and we are live right here in ATL on the Hype 87.3. And today, I heard I got one of the hottest producers in the game in the building.
Yeah.
QWave, what's going on, family? How you doing?
What's going on? Doing good, man. It's good to be here.
Thank you for coming through today with that good energy, positive vibes.
For sure.
I had a little mishap going on in here, so I was a little flustered,
I know. I saw that. You was putting in that work. I was like, man.
I'm over here sweating,
Right.
scrub-a-dub-dub, yeah.
Did your thing.
But thank you for being here today.
For sure. I appreciate being here, and I thank you for the opportunity, too.
Of course, absolutely. Well, we got definitely a lot to talk about, so we're going to just dive right on in. You know, you're a music producer, but give us a brief introduction to yourself.
Yeah, so my name is Quincy, a.k.a. QWave. Born in Atlanta, Georgia. Grew up in Clayco, so South Atlanta.
Okay.
And then took myself to Fayetteville, after my parents split. And, went to Fayette County High School. So, I was always into sports. I was an athlete, played basketball, baseball, things of that nature. Did my thing with that. And eventually, man, just fell in love with music. So just started taking into, making beats and just learning about, everything, literally. With
That's
the music.
dope.
Yeah, for sure.
So did you play sports beyond high school?
I did. I played sports beyond high school. I actually coached a professional basketball team in San Diego in 2018. They were called the San Diego Waves.
Okay.
So they were part of the TBL. It's like a league right underneath the G League. So had an opportunity to do that. Trained a lot of players, and then after that, I went ahead and played ball. I got injured.
Oh,
So,
man.
got injured, but had an opportunity to go to an international tryout. So I tried out, played ball, was playing while I was injured, and I stopped myself because I was like, you know what, if I would have kept going, something crazy would have happened.
Absolutely.
But my dreams were complete there because I did make the team, which was super dope. And so that was the end of that. But it was amazing. It was a cool situation.
Awesome. What type of injury did you sustain?
It was a knee injury.
That'd be the main one. I feel like when people play basketball, etc., is that they tear a meniscus or a ligament or something.
Something, man. You going hard out there. You balling on them. Sometimes that happens. But it gave me the opportunity to sit down with myself and figure out the next route.
Absolutely.
So that wasn't just one situation. So God had plenty of more things for me to do.
Got you. So when was it that you actually fell in love with music production?
Oh, man. I fell in love with music production. Okay, let me tell you this. So back in the day, I used to drive around with my pops. He's from Nassau, Bahamas. And
dope.
Yep. So he had one of those Cadillac CTX, and them little old,
I know that's right. Shout out to Pops with the Cadillac.
You feel me? And so all he ever used to do was do rhythms with his hand on the steering wheel.
Okay.
He was in the drum. He was playing the drums back in the day. He played for his school, I believe. And so he kept doing rhythms, and that stuck with me. And by him doing that led me to like having some sort of energy for me to, start making beats and start hearing sounds, things of that nature. So I just fell in love with it.
That's dope.
I fell in love with music ever since I was young, so it was in my family for sure.
Was there also like ever a particular song that you listened to and maybe that beat caught your attention? You're like, man, I want to create a beat like that.
Most definitely, plenty of times. When you get that feeling when you hear a sound or when that beat hit and you get goosebumps.
Yes.
Man, I get that plenty of times.
Yeah.
So I love to like venture out, with different genres, hip hop, R&B, Afro beats, things of that nature, because it gives me that creativity, for me to put out.
100%. So you've been making beats for over 5 years.
Most definitely.
But you started really taking it seriously around 2023.
Right.
What was that shift in your mindset that said, you know what, I need to step my game up and really start taking this serious?
Man, I was holding myself back. I was going through a lot in life.
We get in our own way, right?
I'm telling you. I was going through stuff in life. I got in my own way. So I was actually holding myself back, picking up bad vices, things of that nature that kept me in loops and circles. So, one day I eventually, said, you know what, forget this. You know what I mean? I need to thrive. I need to be the best 10.0 version of myself, you know? So I started taking it seriously right after you know, I was going through some challenges, me being homeless, things of that nature.
Yeah.
And I found out that only you can be the only person that's going to pick yourself back up at the end of the day.
That's facts.
You know what I mean? So, like, I learned that, you know, God gave me those challenges to be able to overcome. And so that led me to be able to stay consistent in the music. And the reason why I would like to stay consistent in the music is because the frequencies that I do put out, it heals people from whatever they're going through or motivates them.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So.
Absolutely. I feel like when you have a voice or you have a platform or something, you have to be transparent because there's so many other people out here that go through things that we go through. And it's good to let people know that they're not alone.
For sure.
Because mental health is real.
Real.
So that's why it's beautiful that you're sharing your journey. You even said you're going through homelessness. You know how many people I sit down and interview and I would have never thought that they at one point in time they were homeless?
Nah, for sure.
A lot of them. And I'm just like, man. And I've been through some stuff. I haven't been homeless, but there are times where I thought I might be, you know, because
right.
like transitioning out of the corporate world into doing this full time, it was not easy because I went from making good money to not knowing where that next paycheck coming from, right?
Right.
But it's like when you find something you love, you stick through it, you persevere, and that's what you did.
Most definitely. And that's the key. That's the
Yeah.
goal. You know what I mean? Like you have winners and you have losers. You know what I mean? And I, you know, when I was homeless back then, I thought to myself, I'm like, dude, I'm not a loser.
No.
You know what I mean?
Just
like,
going through a rough patch.
You're going through a rough patch, but
Yeah.
the battlefield is in your mind.
Nah, that is facts. I feel like oftentimes a lot of the stuff that happens comes from ourselves.
For
like
sure.
rather than us pointing, my business partner says, stop pointing the finger and start pointing the thumb. Take accountability.
There you go.
Because people are so quick to blame others why their own stuff is messed up when it's like, bruh, like take accountability and figure it out.
That's it. You know what I'm saying? You got to take accountability of yourself, you know, and your challenges. You know, that's the only way you can grow.
Yes.
You know, I got a good friend. His name is Tony, and he told me, he was like, how do trees grow? And I said, well, they grow with water, sunlight, things of that nature. He was like, no. And I was confused. I was like, dude, what you talking about, man? And he was like, trees grow because of that wind and how strong it is. So the trees, they shake back and forth, and that's the reason why they could sustain in all seasons and all weather. And I was like,
It's a great analogy.
you feel me?
Yeah.
And so I took that into music, and I'm like, man, look, listen, if I stay consistent, if I keep waking up every day, you know what I'm saying? Every day you wake up, you know, you're not going to be your best self.
Of course.
But guess what? I go ahead and go outside, do my little workout and walk, and now I'm at my highest frequency. I'm going to stay consistent.
That's one of the biggest things is staying active because I go on walks often. I love hiking. It's one of my favorite things to do, especially at my big age. Like as we get older, it gets more difficult. And I've been preaching that upon a lot of people because obviously most people I interview are younger than me. And I'll tell them, take care of yourself now because you don't want to be 40, 50, having heart attacks and strokes and diabetes and this, that, and the third, you know, so that's good that you're getting out there, staying active because it's good for your mental health as well.
Yeah, it is. It is. So we both doing our thing, you know.
You got to
climax at your peak. So that way when you get older in age, you're not climaxing at the low and falling and crashing out.
Absolutely, because there's people who, you know, I'm always transparent. I'm 51 years old, and it's like I tell people.
Hold on. What?
Yeah, I'm 51. I got a son who's 31.
What?
I got a grown man.
You see, that's what I'm talking about. Representing though.
I appreciate that.
Keep doing your thing.
Thank you.
Don't stop.
I appreciate that. But it's like I tell people, there's people who don't even make it to my age because they haven't taken care of themselves. You know, and I understand some stuff is genetics. I get it, but most of the stuff is the crap that we eat and living a sedentary lifestyle.
Exactly.
You know, so that's good that you're active, though. I love it.
Oh, for sure.
Coming out of ATL, Fayetteville, and you said your dad's from Nassau, Bahamas.
Right.
Do you draw inspiration from the Atlanta area and, you know, maybe, you know, your dad being from the Bahamas when it comes to when you create beats, or is it kind of just like whatever comes to mind?
I really draw inspiration from my mother and my grandmother.
Okay.
A lot. The reason why is because my grandmother, she ran a dance company in New York, but she's Caribbean.
Oh, okay, that's dope. Where's she from?
So she is, if I'm not mistaken.
Don't get me the line.
Don't get me right. All I can say, she's from the Caribbean.
Understood.
Right now, so
okay.
I gotta.
Yeah.
You know. But Yeah, so she's amazing. You know, rest in peace for her. But she was amazing. She traveled all around the world. So every time I get to see her, it's just like this energy that she gives off, and she makes me want to create. You know,
Yeah.
and so with my mom, my grandmother, and then with my dad on, you know, in the Nassau side,
Yeah.
it just gave me so much creativity to be able to get into this hip hop, you know, R&B industry or any genre, to honestly, to be able to create and get that boom bam going.
Listen, I know that's right. And that was actually going to be the next thing I wanted to ask you is, do you create currently all genres? Or if you haven't, are you open to like whatever genre? Someone comes to you and be like, man, I really want this really dope country record because line dancing is popular right now.
For sure.
You would be open to it?
I'd be open to it because I create all genres. I would love to create all genres. The reason why is because I'm reaching out to everybody,
Yeah.
you know, around the world. Everybody needs to feel the frequency. Everybody needs to heal. Everybody needs to hustle.
Yeah.
Everybody needs that beat that'll motivate them to get up out of bed. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. So do you, like, for example, if somebody came to you and said, I want like an Afro beats or even a pop record or whatever, do you kind of study that genre a little bit? You know, that way you kind of have an ear for it going into it?
So I do, but also too, I can already feel it. You know, once I start listening to their music, it clicks automatically, and I'm already on my laptop. You know what I'm saying? Cooking up. Because I know the rhythm with pop, I can kind of switch it up, or if it's country or if it's Afro beats.
Yeah.
I study their music, and that's one thing. I'm a dedicated producer, so one thing about me, I like to study the artist. I keep it organic, and once I study their sound, I implement it with my twist. And then that's when we make these big hits.
So is that what you prefer, is to actually cook up like a personal beat for someone versus, you know, and it's cool to have the beat packs you send out and, you know, stuff maybe on BeatStars or whatever, but do you prefer to do like, you know, an exclusive for somebody?
Most definitely. I prefer to do exclusive with somebody, and or, you know, I prefer to just cook up and do the packs. I'm an all-around guy, so
Yes.
if an artist come to me and say, hey, Q, I need you to cook up for me personally, exclusively, I'm like, okay, bet, let's do this. Let's have a conversation. Let's go somewhere and let's literally put this project together. Or if someone says, hey, I need some fire, bro, send me some packs.
Of course, yeah.
I'm ready because I'm always cooking up. If I'm not at my 9 to 5, I'm at the crib and I'm just working and trying to study and get better and better. So, of course, I'm open to everything
I love it.
for the artist.
Do you also engineer, mix and master, and record artists? Do you do that as well?
So I don't do that as far as vocally,
Yeah.
but I do mix and master beats.
Oh, okay, dope.
Right. So, you know, if there's anybody that needs help with that great quality sound, I can be able to mix and master. I've been using FL for a while now.
Yeah.
So I'm always studying. I'm always tweaking different things, 808s, the drums, the sound, you know, reverbs, all of that good stuff. But I am open to engineering as well. So
Okay.
I'm thinking about either going back to school or just studying it on my own for
Yeah,
sure.
I think that you could. I think there's so many producers out here, engineers, audio engineers that learned on their own, and sometimes they'll go to school just to get that piece of paper.
Right,
You know what I'm
right.
saying? Or maybe they will learn a few extra things, but I feel like a lot of the basics you could learn online.
You can.
Go to YouTube
YouTube
University.
University.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Most definitely.
That's how I learn a lot of my stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Straight at YouTube. I should have a plaque on the wall with a diploma or something.
You know what I mean? No, seriously, and that's the reason why you're great. You know what I mean? Because you can get it. You can do it on your own.
100%. Absolutely.
sure.
So you've mentioned connecting with the world through your beats.
Right.
Give us a moment where you feel like maybe somebody truly resonated with a beat that you made. Maybe they're like, got emotional about it. They're like, man, this is exactly what I was looking for. Do you recall a moment like that?
Most definitely. So I remember someone going through a heartbreak. You know, and I went through a heartbreak.
Yeah.
You know,
We all do.
Yeah, you feel me? So, and it was one of those challenges where, you know, you have to come up out of that.
Yes.
You can't sit in that. And so by me making beats while I was in that state, it helped me heal because I was, you know, just playing it, and it helped me. So when I saw that, you know, my partner was going through, you know, a breakup, you know, I just said, hey, man, just listen to this beat. And so he listened to it a couple times, and then next thing you know, he started crying. You know, tears started coming down his cheeks.
Wow.
But then when I saw that, I was like, wow, I didn't say anything, but deep down inside, you know, the authentic voice of God said, he's healing right now.
Yes.
And so
Man.
that it was a great situation for sure.
That's beautiful, because that's something that a lot of people don't take the time to do. And not to get off on a tangent, but like in toxic situations or bad relationships, they don't take the time to heal.
Right.
You have to find a way to do so. And you did it through your own music, man.
For sure.
And your partner did as well. It's beautiful.
Most definitely. You know what I'm saying? You have to, you know, you can't just stay stagnant when you're going through life challenges.
Sure.
You have to be able to do something. If it's working out, if it's listening to music. One thing about me, it was me making beats, me just listening to beats.
Yeah.
No, there was no lyrics. I just listened to the beats, and I felt the rhythm, and I felt all the sounds, and I could relate, you know, and that helped me to get over that. It helped me to continue to grind, you know. So.
Absolutely. Who was one of the first artists that you recall that actually rapped or sang on one of your beats?
Lotto Savage.
Really?
R.I.P.
That's big. Yeah. R.I.P. first and foremost.
rest in
That's
peace.
big. How did that connection come together?
I was in Clayton County, just going to the gas station. You know
Shoot
what
your
I'm saying?
shot,
And
right?
going to the local hood store. Went there, you know, probably was trying to get something to drink or something like that, you know, some juice.
Little sippy sip.
You know, and, you know, I saw him. I saw Lotto. He was just chilling. He was just, you know, went in, probably was getting a bag of chips or something like that. And I was like, what's going on, man?
Yeah.
I make beats, this and that. And he was like, okay, that's what's up. He was like, send me something. So he gave me his number.
Man.
So, you know, I was just like, okay, I'm gonna follow through. So I sent them a couple of beats right then and there. 30 minutes later, you know, he texted me back. He was like, hey, what you doing tonight? Your beats are hard.
Wow.
And
That's
so
hard.
it was super cool to be able to have that opportunity. So, you know, I got in the lab with him, and you know, I had a buddy of mine, he collabed with me, and we made a couple records.
How did that feel to be able to get that record in with somebody that is no longer with us?
It felt pretty good,
Yeah.
you know, and you know, rest in peace, Lotto Savage.
Yes.
But everything had happened for a reason, as far as me and him
Yes.
connecting.
It was a line.
So yeah, it was a line, and so I'm glad that I have met him.
Yes.
And it was just a amazing situation while he was here. So he was humble, cool guy, man.
Yeah.
Super cool.
Absolutely.
You know, laid back.
Who would be somebody that you haven't worked with yet that, man, if you could run into him, bump into him at the gas station, who would that be? Give me a female and a male artist.
Ooh, a female and a male.
Because we got to
artist.
manifest it right now.
Oh, man. Okay. All right. So let's do this. First male artist, Money Man.
He's so fire.
Man, that dude fire.
And he's very, very intelligent on
Very
business
knowledgeable.
side. Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Shout out to Money Man.
Shout out to Money Man.
Money
For sure.
Man, come
Yeah.
on, bro.
Yeah.
He fire. You fire,
For
he
sure.
fire.
Man, he's always on the crypto. He's always putting people on game.
That's what I'm saying.
So,
on that business,
right.
boy. His name is Money Man for a reason.
You know what I mean? So
Money Man, okay, definitely. Who would the female be?
the female, man. That's a little tough because I'm open. I'm open to work with anyone. As
Maybe
far as-
Lotto, since you worked with Lotto Savage, you gotta work with just Lotto. You know,
boy,
she from the South Side.
We'll turn the streets up. I don't think Lotto got to be ready for this, for real. Because
She
we'll turn
hard.
the streets up. She is hard. So I give props to Lotto. She's from the South Side too. So I would love to definitely rock with her, and let's turn ATL up. It's time too. It's 2025.
No, that is facts. It's crazy because when I moved to Atlanta in 2013, not long after that, I started doing artist showcases.
Word.
Her dad used to bring her to perform at my showcases when she was like 16, before she was on the rap game.
That's hard.
She was young. And
What?
yes, her dad had to bring her because she wasn't even old enough to get in the venue, but her dad knew the venue owner.
Right.
And shout out to Lotto. She's truly
shout out to
been
Lotto,
working
man.
I witnessed it for myself.
Yeah.
She's been working for a long time.
She deserves it.
She deserves
Grind.
it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we're going to manifest that too as well.
Let's do
Lotto,
it, man.
come on, sis.
Let's get it. Let's get it. I'm ready. Let's turn it up.
What is one thing about being a producer that most people either get wrong or they underestimate?
Being their authentic self.
Break that down.
So basically, a lot of producers, they love to, copy, you know, different people's sounds, things of that nature, not be their authentic self.
Yes.
And so we have a lot of that going on, and I feel like that's kind of an error. You know what I mean? Because now we're not giving the world an authentic sound, and we're not giving the world the creativity from each producer. You
Yes.
know, so so if the industry feels a little watered down on the sound, that's because, you know, nobody's really stepping up and being their authentic self. So that's the reason why I am, you know, working on myself to be the 10.0 version of myself. So that way I give you guys a sound that y'all have never heard before. That way you guys can be able to manifest anything y'all want, motivate, hustle, get your money, and that'll help the next man be their authentic self.
Absolutely. Well, let me ask you this, because I see, like, of course, on YouTube, a lot of producers get popping on YouTube.
For
You know,
sure.
which is nothing wrong with that. But I think eventually at some point in time, you got to, like, get clientele off of YouTube, too, because 8
Yeah.
million people want to download the same beat,
The
right?
same one, you know what I mean? So
But I see a lot of beats that'll say it's like a Money Man type beat or a Lotto Savage type beat. How do you feel about putting that type of stuff out where it's a type beat?
now I don't do it. The reason why is because it's a lot of producers doing it
Yeah.
right now. You know what I mean? And it can be a good marketing tool.
Sure.
But I feel like being organic, I feel like being one-on-one with your artist instead of going on YouTube and getting these YouTube beats.
Yes.
I feel like you gotta pick either or. You want to have the free, or do you want to invest and be very exclusive and take it to the next level?
Yeah.
So one of those. So I'm the type of producer that I work with people organically, one-on-one. I want you to DM me, hit me up.
Yes.
If you see anything you like on my social media, let me know. I work with everybody, anybody. You know what I mean? So that way you get that one-on-one communication. You get that real relationship. So that way you know that, you know, I'm real. I'm here.
Yeah, you got to build that. If you build that chemistry with somebody, I feel like you can really cook up for them because you know their vibe.
For sure.
And I feel like producers are the ones oftentimes who bring artists out of their element.
Definitely.
You know, like a artist may say, man, I would never rap on that beat. And you're like, no, you better rap on that beat. And that could be their platinum hit.
That could be their hit. You know what I mean? I feel like artists should definitely be open. You know what I mean? I understand people have their own sound. They love that little thing, but they have to be open.
Absolutely. So you've worked with a lot of independent artists.
Most definitely.
What is it in particular that you look for in an artist when you collaborate with them before jumping into a project?
Oh, I look for their personality.
That's big.
Yeah, their character.
Can't work with an a-hole.
Yeah,
Sorry,
you
not
can't-
sorry.
Nah, yeah, you can't. You can't work with no a-hole, man.
No.
Come on, man. Because you're gonna be putting out BS.
That is facts. So how do you kind of study them to know if that's somebody you actually want to, whether it's a song or an entire project to work with them on?
I check their resume out. I check their social medias out.
Yeah.
So before, if someone DMs me and they have no profile picture, get going, man. Because you can't even represent your face. You don't love yourself. Put a profile picture on, man.
Man.
So that way you could be marketable.
Right, that little generic emoji they got up there ain't cutting it.
It ain't cutting it, So I want to see you. I want to see your brand. I want to see your authentic self. I want to see if you're consistent. I want to see if you have one post, or are you really pushing yourself, pushing your music, because I come with it. I love to promote. I push myself to the limit because the world needs it.
And I think this is a prime example of perception is everything. It really is, because I do the same thing. There are times, where people I don't know, they'll DM me to want to do an interview. Before I respond to them, I'll go scroll through their Instagram and look to see what type of vibe they're on.
Right.
Because if
You
sometimes
don't want no cuckoo.
Nah, facts. So if there are a few of them that I don't respond to.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
not sorry.
Yeah,
but
for
it's like
sure.
if their Instagram projects that they have a weirdo mentality and they're messy, I don't want that on my platform.
Nah, for
I don't
sure.
want that energy sitting next to me.
Yeah, you don't want no loser pulling up. You know what I mean? You have to be a winner for sure. So you have to check them out thoroughly, make sure that they're on point. Because you're representing your brand.
Exactly. And oftentimes I'm here alone too. So I have to be mindful of who walks through that front door. I got to protect myself and be safe.
Most
You know what I'm
definitely.
saying? So, but I listen, I do the same thing. So that's a great lesson for all you artists out there. clean up your Instagrams a little bit, because trust me, even if someone don't say nothing or they don't click that like button, they are looking.
Yeah, they're looking. It don't matter if you have 50 million followers. It don't matter if you have 1,000 followers. They are looking. As long as you're putting out great organic stuff, you're being your authentic self, people are gonna pull up.
Exactly, because that clickbait stuff kind of gets lame after a while.
It's lame, bro. It's the folks that are at home with mommy and daddy, you know, just like my boy Wes Watson say. You know, it's them type of folks that ain't got nothing going on, that's not living out their purpose, you know, and they need to. They got to put that stuff down, that bad food, all that BS down, and get out here.
That's
and, you know.
facts. I always say it's the people with the least amount of motion who got the most to say.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's because they have nothing going on.
You got nothing going on,
like,
you know. And I used to be like that, so. That's the reason why I could talk from this, because I used to be, I wasn't no clickbait type of guy, but I used to not have nothing going on. And I finally realized, man, look, dude, you got to get up off your, you know, the couch.
You took that accountability we talked about.
That's what I'm talking about.
So you have an upcoming beat album, Hustle and Heartbreak, drops June 30th.
Yeah.
Let's say it again, Hustle and Heartbreak.
Hustle and Heartbreak.
It's a beat album,
Yes.
June 30th.
Most definitely.
What's the story behind this album?
So I'm no longer with the mother of my daughter no more. We've been together for some years.
Yeah.
And it just wasn't working out. So with that being said, while I was going through that heartbreak, you know, I was trying to hustle and get myself together at the same time too.
Yeah.
Because only thing that I've been hearing is, you know, you ain't doing this, you ain't doing that, you ain't, you know, all this stuff. So it really took a toll on me mentally. And I didn't know how to express that, you know? And so that's what led me to make this Hustle and Heartbreak album, because it's going to heal you and it's going to motivate you through those trying times to get going, get your money, and stay strong, you know what I mean? So
Absolutely. I feel like, you know, I can't speak for a man per se because I'm not one, but being in past relationships, what I can say is that for a man, if things aren't where you want them to be physically, financially, spiritually, it can weigh heavy on your mental to where you can't even focus sometimes.
You can't even focus. You're staying stagnant, you know? So you have a purpose, you have a plan. So if you have a better half, you know, you make peace. That's all people want is just peace. So as long as, you know, you're doing, you know, the man is working, doing his part, if he has a purpose and he's shooting for it, I feel like the other half should definitely compliment it and just, you know, give it peace.
You got to uplift each other.
Uplift each other, for sure.
You know, like, whether you believe in 50-50 or the man's supposed to be the full provider, that's your business. But I feel like it needs to be a team effort when uplifting each other and supporting each other's dreams, each other's goals.
Right.
That stuff is important. And it's funny because my videographer that comes in here and films my mic drop performances, he's an artist as well. And I actually interviewed him the other day because he's a producer. Okay. I would love for you guys to connect because you guys got very similar energy.
Most definitely.
But he video games a lot. So I asked him, and that don't bother me. My son was a gamer always growing up. And so I asked him, I said, what is it about video games that really draws you in? And he said that he went through a period of time where, you know, maybe the money wasn't quite right. You know, his marriage was good, but he just didn't. He said playing video games was like the one thing that made him feel like a winner. Because when he won that game, they praise you. They give these awards on the games and they give you this and that. And I was like, it's validation.
Yeah.
I said, that makes perfect sense. Nobody ever broke it down to me that way.
Yeah, for sure.
Some people, of course, they do it just to pass time. But he said for him, it truly like gave him validation. I was like, man, that makes sense.
Gave him that good juice power to keep going.
Yeah.
You know? And I also wanted to say this, too. In order, if you're getting in a relationship, just make sure you got your stuff together.
That's the biggest thing is because, like, you know, and I don't speak super publicly on my past, but my relationship that I was in 7 years that ended about a year ago that's what it was, is like when we came together, and I completely take partly blame is the fact that I went into a relationship when he wasn't healed, and I knew that. And I should have allowed him to heal from his previous marriage. You know what I'm saying? And allow him to get back stable and where he wanted to be. But
Yeah.
I was just so eager to be in a relationship because I had been single for so long.
Yeah, for sure.
So yes, you are absolutely
Yeah.
right. We have to allow people that time to fully heal and get right with themselves.
Most definitely, and that's what I had to do too. I went into a relationship not being my best self.
Yeah.
You know, I was lacking in finances. I was lacking in a lot of things, and I'm not afraid to say it because I take action for everything that I've done.
It happens to all of us.
Yeah,
And it's
for sure.
nothing to be ashamed of.
Nothing at all.
At all. Like I said, when I transitioned about, probably 12 years ago out of the workforce to doing this, it was a struggle.
Yeah, for sure.
Like there were times where I'm like, dang, I don't know how I'm gonna make my rent this month and it weighed on me mentally because I was so used to being able to pay all my bills because I was making great money at my job.
Exactly.
And I got laid off. And that hurt because I was like, I went from having this cushion to not knowing where I'm gonna pay my bills from.
Right. Having that 9 to 5, it's stable, but it's a totally different ball game
Yes.
when you reach out to that entrepreneurship. And so I commend you for that because you did your thing and you stuck it out. But guess what? You have to take that risk because without that risk, there's no reward.
No reward.
You know what I mean? So
100%.
And that's what I'm doing now too as well. And I'm glad that I'm in this type of situation because I'm working on myself. Now this is my first little situation, gig. So now I'm just, doing what I have to do. Yeah.
So with this album, this beat album, Hustle and Heartbreak, the beats that are on there, are you going to just keep them exclusively for that beat album or are they going to be for sale as well?
They're going to be for sale as
Okay.
well. So they're going to be exclusively on, Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube, things of that nature. And also people around the world can have a chance to hop on it as well or use it for whatever.
Maybe you should do like a challenge for one of the beats on there. Like see who does the best rap or sing on it and
Word.
give it to them.
You know what? I think so.
That would be dope because
That'd
I
be
feel
dope.
like sometimes we have to give back. You know what I'm
have to.
saying?
Yeah.
Maybe pick one beat on there and do a challenge and say, man, put your best verses on there and whoever you feels the best, give them the beat.
I'll do that.
Because of course, I feel like if they take the time to actually do it, they're going to promote it.
I think so too. And you know what? Let's definitely do that. So
Y'all heard it right here.
So Hustle and Heartbreak, I'm gonna pick
It could be the Hustle and Heartbreak Challenge.
It could be the Hustle and Heartbreak Challenge.
That's
and
hard.
whoever goes the hardest, you can have the beat. You can do whatever you want to it. That's yours. Coming from QWave.
That's dope. Just sign the paper, do a split
Right.
sheet or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
For
but
sure.
that's dope, man.
Yeah,
When
for
you
sure.
get ready to do it, let me know because maybe we could have you come back and we can announce it on air or whatever.
Let's do that.
That would be hard.
We got that coming.
That's dope, man.
you
Look,
already know.
boom.
Look, we already going.
We working.
For sure. For sure.
How has faith played a role in your journey of being creative?
Big time. Faith has played a big, big role. The reason why is because without that faith, I wouldn't be able to create.
Yeah.
And we have 24 hours each and every single day. We won't get that time back.
Yes.
So during that time, I have faith, and faith has gotten me through all the rough times. It got me out of all rough times. Without having that faith, you're falling off the earth. But with that faith, it allows you to keep pushing forward. It allows doors to open up. Even when you can't see your future,
That's facts.
you still have that faith, just like what God said. You just have to have faith just as little as a mustard seed. You could be able to move mountains.
That is facts. You're absolutely
And it's
right.
real, I tested it out. I tried it out, and that's faith. That's what got me here. That's what got me to continue to keep going. And I'm standing. I'm here.
Look at you. Yeah, like you literally said you were homeless at one point in time.
Homeless at one
You
point.
went from that to now like you're out here doing your thing. You're thriving,
sure.
man. That's
sure.
a blessing right there. You should
It
be
is.
super proud of yourself. Pat yourself on the back one time.
For sure.
Hey.
And it's just God working through me. So for me to have that faith and have that connection, it's just that's where the creativity is coming from.
And that first step is allowing it.
You have to allow it.
Because a lot of people, they may hear about faith and this and that, but they don't allow because they don't want to believe.
Right.
It's like anything in life, in order to make it happen or come to life, you have to allow it.
You have to.
You have to let it do its thing,
Right.
run its course per se. So
Right.
don't be afraid.
Don't be afraid. You have to step out. You
Yes.
have to just allow it. You have to believe it. If you feel like you're an artist and you're the dopest artist in the world, you have to believe it. You have to walk it and live through it. And whatever comes with that, just know, man, the challenges, thank the challenges, because that's what's growing you. That's what's going to make you stronger.
Man, that is facts. Absolutely.
For
What
sure.
don't kill you will make you stronger.
Shout out to my boy Justin Lane. He's the guy. That's my best friend. He actually introduced me to faith and Jesus.
That's
and
beautiful.
stuff like that. So,
Absolutely. That's my Lord and Savior,
Yeah,
Jesus
for sure.
Christ. Okay.
For sure.
I got saved before I moved to Atlanta because I felt like I came out of a very toxic relationship. He was alcoholic. He became abusive, and it was just a bad situation.
Yeah.
And I was like, I wanted a brand new, fresh start coming here. So I got saved where I came here, and I feel like it was the best decision I ever made.
It's the best decision. I mean, look at you. You're thriving.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Thank you to my Lord and Savior, because I feel like if I had not, I could have still been in that toxic mindset, and none of this would have been possible.
None of it. We would have been running in circles.
Yeah, I would have been still working a 9 to 5, being miserable, you know, like
working for a system that ain't gonna mess with you.
And don't get it twisted. There's nothing wrong with having a job.
No, nothing at all.
If you are an up and coming whatever, don't quit your 9 to 5 to, I only left because I got laid off. But fortunately, I already had this kind of up and running. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to go stand in the unemployment line because I had pride.
Right.
I struggled like hell, but I made it through. But don't quit your 9 to 5.
Yeah, don't quit it. You can do it. That 9 to 5 is going to help you get to where you need to be.
Absolutely. So you're working on a single right now, and I hope I'm saying these correct. Keyshawn Angel Voice.
Yes.
And is it Kayla Harrison?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So how did this collab come about?
Wow. So this,
and it's called Undone.
It's called Undone. So this came about. I sent Keyshawn Angel Voice, my boy. He's from Texas.
That's a dope name, by the way.
Dope. It's super dope. I sent him the beat, and he sat on it. I think I sent it to him last year, it's probably been last year, and he sat on it. And next thing you know, I got a text message this year, and he sent the song back, and it was just him on it at first. And so I listened to it, and I was like, man, this is dope. And it's called Undone. The reason why it's called Undone is because this record here is going to heal a lot of people around the world as well. So we're trying to help people, We're helping people. And it's Fido.
Yes.
It's pretty dope. So then I found out about a surprise that he had gotten a feature on there. And her name, she's an upcoming artist as well. Her name is Kayla Harrison, and she's a singer. Super dope voice.
From his area as well?
No, I believe so, but I'm not too sure.
Don't get him to lying.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah. But no, I found them on Instagram.
Okay.
Yep. And see what I'm saying? So we connected, personal DM, and we built that relationship up. And now we're making music.
Social media can be super powerful if you use it in the right way.
It's powerful.
So shout out to Keyshawn Angel Voice. That's a fire name. Shout out to Kayla Harrison. When is the record releasing? Did they have a date yet?
Yep. So 5/31.
Oh, so we talking in a couple days.
We talking in a couple days.
Man, that's exciting for you.
It's super exciting for me because I'm able to, to listen to it and I produced it. So it's amazing for me to be able to do that. It's a gift, man. It's honestly a gift to be able to do this stuff.
I can't wait to hear it.
Oh, yeah.
So where do you see QWave, we'll say, in the next 3 to 5 years on the creative side and on the personal side?
Man, next 3 to 5 years is going to be epic. You know what I'm saying? I can see myself at the highest frequency for sure.
Yeah.
As far as my creative side, career, and just in life in general, because I'm just going to let God use me and take me to wherever that I need to be,
Absolutely.
So I'm super open. I'm going to continue to, stay consistent. But I see myself being at the highest frequency and helping millions of people.
Man, that's beautiful.
I don't even care about the money. I want to just do my purpose and let everything else happen for itself.
And you'll be blessed in abundance, because we don't receive our blessings from no man. We get them from God. So it's like when you're out here doing godly work, he's going to continue to bless you, because you're not doing it expecting reciprocation.
Not at all.
You're doing it because it feels good.
Yeah, for sure.
Man,
it feels good.
What is one really big goal that you're manifesting right now, if you don't mind sharing?
One really big goal that I'm manifesting right now is being the best music producer that I can ever be, and also making that a full-time career. By me doing that, I can be able to give my daughter the world that she needs. And
I know
she's
that's-
4 years old. She just graduated. That's my twin.
That's beautiful.
Gianni Sky Brookswinder. So she's dope. But that's
He's a girl dad.
you feel me? Girl dad. But that's my biggest goal. I want to make this a huge career, so that way I can help as much people as possible through frequency, through the sound.
So we got to work on getting them plaques on plaques on plaques.
So, and it's coming for
It'll
sure.
all come. Absolutely. It's a matter of when.
Yeah.
You know, it's not why or will it. No, it's a matter of when it's going to come. Everybody's journey is different.
It is.
Everybody's journey.
Everybody's journey is super different.
So people that want to shop with you, do you have your beats loaded up somewhere so they can go listen to them to kind of get an idea for your style that you have?
Right. Yes. So for right now, I actually use my social media. So I post beats almost every single day.
Okay.
So that way people can come look onto my resume and they can pick out the beats.
Yep.
And then also I will have my website coming soon to where I'll have all my beats posted and you guys can choose from any selection from my vault. But the reason why I'm going this route right now is because, like I said, like how we spoke about that organic, that one-on-one person relationship. So, DM me. I respond to all DMs. And that's how I'm working right now.
Absolutely. It forces them in a good way to interact with you.
For sure.
Which they should, to build, like you said, build them relationships and that rapport with them. Tell them your Instagram that they can go listen to your beats.
My Instagram is at __wave entertainment, __wave entertainment. And that way you guys can follow me. I'll follow back, look at my beats, pick out any type of beat that you would like, and just join the journey.
Most definitely. That's
definitely.
beautiful.
Yes.
Who do you want to give a shout out to and give thanks to for supporting you through your journey?
Oh, most definitely. I want to give a shout out to my mother. I want to give a shout out to Jessica. That's Gianni's mother as well. Justin Lane, he's a guy, and Prince Davis. They're both great guys. They got me, real tight with God. I also want to give a shout out to Keyshawn Angel Voice, Kayla Harrison, Street Nitty the Representer, Blue Gangsta. These are all upcoming artists that I'm working with. And anyone else that I haven't shout out, man, shout out to you guys, man. Everybody's been supporting me, so I'm thankful, and shout out to you too.
Of course, shout out to you. Thank you for being
sure.
here.
You already know.
It's amazing, and I can't wait for this challenge to pop up.
Hey, man, this challenge is gonna go crazy. So, hey, guys, y'all need to get ready. Hustle and Heartbreak, 6:30. But guess what? I'm dropping a beat, and whoever goes the hardest on there, guess what? We giving you guys a beat. We're going to do the paperwork. It's coming up.
That is amazing. Y'all don't realize how big of an opportunity it is, because there's a lot of artists out here who maybe just don't have the budget to actually purchase a beat.
For sure.
So they're leasing them, which is nothing wrong with that, but you're very limited on what you can do when you lease it.
Right.
So for them to actually have a beat, and of course you guys got to promote it. You know what I'm saying?
Don't have to.
Lay your best verse down or sing on it, whatever you want to do. Yodel, I don't care.
For real.
Definitely.
Promote it.
I would love to have you come back, just as a guest, and when we get closer to that time, and promote it a little bit more.
Let's do that.
That would be dope,
We're
man.
We're going to run it. Dope.
Hey, appreciate you being here
Man,
today.
appreciate you too, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We out of here, y'all.
Cheer.